So let's quickly whip around here. I want to talk about the American Democrats and where they're going to go in the next little while. New Hampshire is the first in the nation primary after the caucus nonsense that happened there. Look, Sanders should win. Then it's a conversation about how bad does Biden do, how good does Buttigieg do, as you can hear Rita Panahi double-checking how to pronounce. You can just say Mayor Pete. It's all good, Rita. We caught you. The microphone.
The way to do it.
Buttigieg.
The way to do it is three words.
She's got the chant going. The bane of my life. I'm like, oh, don't make me say his name. I hate
No, it's easy. It's easy. The way to do it is 3 words. It's boot, edge, edge. Say it quickly. Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Yeah.
It's boot, edge, edge. It's simple.
All right. Here with Troy Bramston and with Mark Latham. So, Rita, tomorrow, what, if anything, will you be looking at when a little bit of America votes for who's inevitably going to lose to Trump?
Well, yeah, you're going to be looking at the losers and how badly they lose and whether it's going to be the end of their campaign, almost the end of their campaign. And there is that billionaire who's spending hundreds of millions of dollars who's looming large, and I think he's going to have a bit of a say at the end, because if it comes down to Sanders and him, I think a lot of the moderates are gonna go with the New York billionaire.
But also, I mean, talk about a great white hope, right? A guy who at one point was a Republican trying to inherit the mantle of Rudy Giuliani, then he became an independent, then he changed the rule to serve longer in New York. He's had to walk away from his own law and order policy about stop and frisk. Apart from anything else, if 40% of the Democrats is either Sanders or Warren, are they going to even bother to turn out in November for a billionaire who's bought his way, a former Republican who's bought his way into the nomination?
Yeah, he's everything they hate. But I think what you've got to understand here is that the Democrat base, the people voting in these primaries, have moved far to the left. And part of that's driven by hatred of Trump. Part of it is sort of the 1% demonisation, the Occupy Wall Street stuff.
But then a 1%er can't be their nominee. They can't.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. He would split their party in two, minimise their base vote. So it's going to be fascinating. You know, we were all amazed 4 years ago that Sanders ran Hillary so close, because it just looked like, you know, Hillary, Democrat royalty, would walk in. But vote after vote, primary after primary, Sanders was still in the race. So, you know, I think we're going to see a repeat of that. And it's not so much Bloomberg, but I think Buttigieg, because if we mispronounce his name, we're racist.
Of course,
so
yes.
Buttigieg.
Sorry.
I think that's the race in two. The moderate lane led by Buttigieg, the radical lane led by Sanders.
But of course, you know, what counts as a moderate in this field is going to look pretty kooky.
Well, relatively moderate.
Well, that's right.
Although Buttigieg today, it's revealed that he believes in drug decriminalisation, heroin, ice, the whole box and dice, cocaine. You want to get it into you, he's all for it.
Good luck.
Now you can't believe that's going to fly. How's that going to fly in Middle America?
Yeah, you mean you've got Biden, Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and now Bloomberg vying for the moderate centrist lane to the nomination. But as I wrote today in the Australian, I mean, these guys are all to the left of Clinton, Obama, and even Jimmy Carter. And so it's a very different Democratic Party. But interesting, I just got to put you up on one thing about Donald Trump, because he was a former Democrat. He was a registered Democrat who funded Democratic candidates. So look, they've all got baggage.
Only if they were
They've all got baggage, but
only if they were hot.
But listen, he supported Bill Clinton, but we probably know why that is.
Bill's pretty hot.
They had a fair bit in common.
On the plane.
Yes, indeed. But look, it's fascinating to see Mike Bloomberg, because, you know, he is spending. He said he's going to spend $600 million on this race, and he's increased his staff to 2,100. Nationally. So
but what does he stand
he's spending
for?
more.
I'm not Trump.
He's spending more than Barack Obama spent on his re-election
in 2012
for the entire campaign.
But at some point, it's great when you are the one who's not on the debate stage, not being talked about, but at some point it's, well, what's your idea?
Well, he
going up
surging.
against Sanders, who's going to the wall 50
as
states.
I say, he's trying to occupy that moderate centrist lane. He's trying to be what will be the establishment candidate. And he is surging. He is surging now. In some polls nationally, he's in 3rd place. And of course, if we have a deadlocked convention in Milwaukee in July, that means that someone like Bloomberg could come through the middle and take the nomination. But what we're going to see, I think, in New Hampshire tomorrow is Joe Biden really in more diabolical trouble.
Because he's got no cash to keep going.
He's got no cash. He's losing staff. He's losing momentum. It's very hard to say you're the only one that can beat Trump when you keep losing primaries and caucuses. So the question is then, is it Buttigieg and Klobuchar who can come through? Or is it going to be Bloomberg?
Joe's looking more and more like he's straight out of Madame Tussauds, don't you reckon?
Yeah, that hair's very creepy. All right, Rita, you get the last say and then I want to take some calls.
But the crazy thing is, in the polling, head-to-head, Biden is still their best chance, if the polls are accurate. He's been badly damaged by the whole impeachment farce, because we all know now about what he did when he was vice president and Hunter Biden's dealings with the Ukraine energy company. So he's been badly wounded by that. But head-to-head, he's still beating Trump in some polls. I'm not saying for a second he would actually win come November, but he probably is their best chance, and they're not going to select him.